Howdy, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of a weekly news roundup of all things gaming, or it's kind of just geek culture in general, but mainly focused on gaming. We're going to be covering some things that I'm interested in, and hopefully, by my interest, there's your interest as well. And we're just going to cover a whole broad variety of things that kind of brushed past my feed this week, and hopefully, you guys will be able to be a little educated on what's going on in the world of gaming. So the first thing that's been going on, apparently a huge Call of Duty game leaked that was supposed to come out in around, I think, 2017-ish. And it was like right after Modern Warfare 3. It was made by the devs of Neversoft. If you guys don't know them, they're the ones that made all the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, like the good ones. And apparently they just were making a Call of Duty game, and it didn't look half bad. You'll see some footage here, and it's like, what in the world? You would not expect Neversoft to hit so hard on something like this. Like it doesn't seem like it's in their ballpark, but they seem to have knocked it out, at least by the leaked footage. It seems to have not borrowed heavily. It seems to have heavily influenced Call of Duty Ghosts, though. So it doesn't seem like we fully missed out, but what's leaked, or at least from what I've seen, was this one space trailer. It was crazy cinematic. It was on the moon. You got to see the Earth from afar. The graphics were like, for Xbox 360 and PS3, this was impressive, to say the least. A lot of things, though, you could tell were Call of Duty, were used in Call of Duty Ghosts. So we didn't miss anything, or at least we probably didn't miss anything all that much. What do you guys think? Would you have preferred to get this over Call of Duty Ghosts? Honestly, I kind of liked Call of Duty Ghosts, so I know that's definitely an unpopular opinion. I didn't care for the multiplayer, but I liked Extinction and the story mode, even though I never finished it. And anyways. And so on to the second story. With so much stuff that we have to cover this week, I'm trying to blast through these as fast as we can. But another game. So this was rumored at the beginning of the week and basically came out the same week it was rumored, or at least early on. So Sonic X Shadow Generations was leaked earlier this week and then later confirmed at a PlayStation State of Play. It was honestly, everyone was losing their minds on Twitter, at least all the Sonic fans were. And kind of for valid reasons. Personally, I don't think we need a new Sonic Generations, or not a new one, but we don't need a remaster. First off, it was an anniversary game, so we're kind of devaluing the original, the purpose of it being an anniversary game. But from what it looks like, at least from what's been shown off so far, this game isn't just going to be a rehash, or it is just it looks more like a port of Sonic Generations more than a straight up remaster. I could be wrong on that. This is more just from superficial, straight on observation more than any facts. But it's a straightforward port of Sonic Generations, and then there's bonus content, which is Shadow Generations. So it's kind of like a Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury type deal. At least that's what it's looking like. And it's going to have original story. It's going to be this whole side thing. We don't really know too much about it other than what's been said on the Steam description and some Japanese sites and the actual trailer that they released. Nonetheless, I'm on the fence about it, because more shadow content. On one hand, more shadow content. That's awesome. On the other hand, we could have gotten Sonic Unleashed instead of Generations. But I feel like more than likely, since it's more of a direct port, or at least it looks like a direct port, Generations is probably more just there as filler, because the new Sonic 3 movie comes out later this year in December. So they probably just wanted something to have some more Shadow content out, since we haven't gotten anything, not including Forces. We haven't gotten anything Shadow related in ages. So, they probably just wanted to put something out there to where Shadow was a bit more culturally relevant, and so we could catch people up on his backstory and all that. Anyways, so that's it on Sonic and Shadow. I'm interested. They were definitely playing a dangerous game with the Sonic X Shadow titling there. I feel like they were probably being smart and trying to cover up previous Google searches that would bring up. But I don't know. I feel like that's gonna get covered up again eventually. That's just Sega. You're playing it dangerous. You did it with Dream Team and Sonic Dream Simulator, and now you're doing it with Sonic X Shadow. Whatever. All right. So on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, I believe is what it's called. Sparking Zero, which is a Budokai Taiinchi. I'm not going to sit here. I can say it, but I can't think of it right now. Anyways, it's basically the fourth entry in that game. People are super hyped for it. Personally, never grew up on those games. Don't really have an opinion. The graphics look really nice, and for some reason, like half the roster is just variations of Goku and Vegeta right now. Kind of hilarious, but that's just anime brawlers for you, I suppose. On to some less exciting news. People seem to be kind of just battling back and forth online about this game. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. I don't know what y'all were thinking about it, but just from the moment it was announced that it was a live service game, I lost all interest. Just didn't care. In all honesty, live service games just aren't for me. You know, they're just whatever. It's another one. The fact that there's no offline play at all really destroys it for me. And what really ruins it is the fact that they did a beta test, or an early access test at least, and that early access test screwed up, causing certain players to start at the ending. I don't know if it was the ending of the game entirely, like the very end. I think it was. Or it was the very end of the demo, but I'm pretty sure it was the entire game. People would just loading the game up for the very first time. They would load in, and it was they were complete. It was like 100% completion. They had like, or not 100%, but they had like really high stats on all their gear. It was stupid, really bad first impressions, and just based off of reviews, it doesn't look like it's doing much better with the critics. Again, that doesn't mean much. It's more of a personal experience kind of deal. So I'm not going to completely thrash them. I don't want to throw them under the bus. Who knows? Maybe they'll blow us away. Maybe it's a great game and people are just being harsh. I personally don't have much interest in it. I sure as heck ain't picking it up at launch, but I may be willing to later down the line if I find it for like $10 pre-owned or something, you know. But again, maybe I'll be proven wrong. Maybe it'll be a great game that I'll have to pick up next week or something. I'm broke. That ain't happening. I guess we're just going to follow after that with some more negative news with Spec Ops The Line. So if you don't know about this game, it is considered like a classic in the war genre Xbox 360 era of games. It was iconic. It apparently told a very effective, just amazing story. I have not played it myself yet. It's been in my backlog for ages, but it got delisted. Like, it's been wiped off all online stores. The only way you're going to be able to play this game anymore is through other means and through physical copies. And because of that, physical copies have skyrocketed in price. Like, I'm talking, you better be ready to drop $200+ for this crap. Good game from what I've been told, and it looks really exciting. But I don't know if it's no $200 plus good, you know? Especially, thankfully, I got lucky. I went on GOG and got the game for $6. It was the last place you could buy it digitally before it was wiped off entirely of the internet. So, you know, it's another reason to show why digital media is so, it's not insufficient. It's unreliable. Like, there is no telling when a studio is just going to be like, hey, you know that game that you really loved? There's no way you can gain access to this anymore unless you previously bought it, which even then, that's a gray area. The publisher just removed it. There was no warning. That's the worst part about this crap. They just did not say a thing. It just happened, and everybody scrambled to try and get it as soon as they could. It's some real bullcrap, honestly. I'm not happy about it. I'm glad I got it before it completely delisted, but I wanted it on Steam, and I had to get it on GOG. It's good to get it on GOG because at least it got rid of the DRM. But I like the convenience of Steam, you know. But you know, that's a minor thing. The bigger issue here is the fact that they removed it entirely. They shouldn't have done that. At least give us a fair warning if you're going to do that crap, devs. Like, come on, that's dirty. It's low. I'm not really blaming the devs. I don't know who to blame here. It's probably the publishers. Stop doing that crap. It's inexcusable. Back into the Sonic stuff, though. I know we just kind of went negative, blah, blah, blah. But Sonic again. Hear me out. So there's apparently 3 Sonic games, mobile games specifically, in the works. I know mobile games, you kind of lose interest right off the bat there. Don't blame you. But hear me out. One of these is super hyped. But there's always, like I say all the time with the Sonic franchise, there's a monkey paw situation. As soon as you get what you ask for, the monkey paw curls and something negative happens right afterwards. So what we're getting is 3 Sonic games. One is a normal one, or not a normal one. It's a Fall Guys ripoff, or clone, I guess I should say, using the style. This is rumored, I should say. This is all rumored. But there's a Sonic clone of Fall Guys coming in the style of Sonic and Friends. I don't know if you guys have seen those TikToks going around to where Sega just uses this cutesy little preschool art style. It's fine, you know, but it's supposedly we're getting a Fall Guys clone with that. And then the second one, this is the big hype, is a Chow Garden mobile game. Sonic fans have been asking for this forever. We haven't gotten a new Chow game in ages, or a Chow anything. It's pretty ridiculous how long we've been begging for this. But, of course, here's where the monkey paw part comes in. It's exclusive to freaking Netflix. You have to be subscribed to Netflix. Like, I don't know who thought that was okay, but apparently that's what Sega's doing now. And to add insult to injury, we're getting another Sonic game that's a sports title. You know, not a big though there. It's just a random spinoff title. We don't know what it is yet, but the spinoff title is exclusive to Apple Arcade. So not only did they do it with Sonic Dream Team, now they're doing it with a highly demanded Chow game on mobile, and they're doing it with a random sports title. That one's not really a huge loss, but still. So we're supposedly getting 3 games: a Fall Guys clone, a Chow game exclusive to the Netflix subscription. I don't know. Maybe that's to avoid microtransactions. I'm trying to give it the benefit. I want to try and get some positivity to this, but it is frustrating, And then the sports game, it's Sonic, so I'm disappointed in that factor. Like, I just want all the Sonic content I can get. Gimme, obsession. It does that to you. It does that to a man. But anyways, so it's kind of the monkey paw situation. It's just, you get some, you lose some, no matter what with the Sonic franchise. Give it time, they'll do something awesome, and then they'll do something that's just like, why do you have to hurt me, Sega? On to some more VR related news. VR is a huge part of my life. I will try to consume every bit of VR I will try to consume the best bits of VR I can, especially VR chat. This is unrelated. I shouldn't have brought up VR chat. But VR in general is just awesome. I eat it up as a legally blind person. It's a piece of media that I can experience far better than a flat screen piece of media. So it's interesting to see what VR content comes. Vertigo Games, which is a big developer in VR. They've made some pretty big hits along the lines of Arizona Sunshine 2, I believe another one called Before They Fall, or something along those lines. Great games that a lot of VR players love. Personally, they're not for me, but I know people love them. They are working on the next Metro game. It's going to be a single-player experience, which I know a lot of people are hyped for. Personally, Vertigo Games and Metro, 2 things I personally have almost no interest in, but it's VR, so that's kind of the point where I'm like, let's see how it comes. Maybe I'll be interested, I'll give it a chance. I'll look into it at least, But we'll have to see. On to more VR-related news. MetaQuest 2 and 3 just got its 60-second version update, which adds quite a bit of stuff, actually. Like, now you can live stream from the Quest 2 and 3 directly to Facebook, with some caveats. You do need to have a PC still, and you need to be able to stream it to OBS. So, that's kind of... I'm sure there's some reasoning behind it. I know it was behind a beta testing for a while, but now it's publicly, anybody can use it. I'm sure somebody out there wants that. I couldn't tell you who, but, someone's out there. For someone who wants to just be able to stream VR and doesn't have a powerful PC, you can use your mom's laptop from 2012 and download OBS, and you can use that, It's something for somebody, So Meta is doing the same thing that Apple does and is snagging the competition's ideas and either improving them or just straight up mimicking them. So with the new update, you can now watch some spatial videos like the Apple Vision Pro can do. I don't really know too much about that. It doesn't look interesting to me, but it looks like you can record footage as long as you have an iPhone 15 or above, it looks like you can record spatial video, upload it to your MetaQuest, and then watch that spatial video on your headset. It's cool. It's an option for those interested in that. This one's a little weird. It's very niche, very specific, but now you can connect Bluetooth controllers to your Quest 2 and Quest 3, which you've been able to do for quite some time, but you can specifically use those controllers on your browsers now to where that limitation is no longer there. So if there's some browser games you want to play on your Quest for some reason, you can now. I think this would be more specifically for people who are trying to stream games. I think you can use Xbox Game Pass. That's already that's an app you can download on the Quest already. Maybe PlayStation. I don't know if that's a feature they have. I think it is. And then there's also, I know some legal gray areas that have websites that you can play older games on that are fully capable of controller support. So that's something you can do with that feature. Other than that, I don't know why Meta decided to include that feature, but hey, who's going to complain about more options, Now, this is what I'm really excited for. I'm a big Rock Band or just rhythm fan in general. Even though Epic made Fortnite Festival basically shut down Rock Band 4's DLC updates, we're finally getting an official new guitar controller that you can use on your PC, your PlayStations, and your Xboxes. It's going to be sick. Finally, we'll have a new, it seems like a bit more premium than previous iterations of the controller too, which is super exciting. Hopefully we'll see some exciting things come from this other than people just using it for Fortnite Festival. I know for sure we're going to see someone beat Elden Ring with it within probably the next 2 months of its release. From what other creators have said who've gotten their hands on it early, it's very well made. It seems to have quite a few extra features that haven't been implemented on previous guitars. Like it has an analog stick on the back handle of where you would put your hand usually, which is nice. That's absolutely going to help outside uses of Fortnite Festival. And of course, I don't know if I should say this, but there's also, everybody's favorite Clone Hero, which is that's gonna hopefully make the third-party market of these controllers, to where people are trying to buy PS2 and PS3 and all the old controllers, hopefully those will go down in price because the modern controllers will be more accessible. Who knows? It's kind of, that's always a bit confusing with, retro game collectors and people trying to bait us into nostalgia buying. Anyways, I'm excited for it. I'm going to try my best to get one if I can, depending on the price. I don't think a price has been announced, but no matter what, I will eventually attempt to get one just for the fact of having a good controller compatible with all my main systems. So like I said earlier about Sonic X Shadow Generations, a PlayStation State of Play happened this week on Wednesday, and we actually got quite a bit of stuff. Outside of Sonic and Metro VR, we also got some more footage of Dragon Dogma 2. That game, I'm sure, is going to be fantastic if it's anything like Dragon Dogma 1. So we got some more footage of this game called Stellar Blade that looks really exciting. I don't have too much knowledge about it, but from what it's shown off, it looks fantastic. And the release date was revealed, being the April 24th this year. So I'm sure that'll be it's either going to be a sleeper hit or it's going to pop off big, but I think it'll be a good one. So we actually got some new information about Silent Hill and also a short game demo called Silent Hill Short Message. I haven't played it myself yet because it looks to be only exclusive on the PS5, but from what I've seen, it does look really cool. So hopefully that comes out pretty well. I haven't seen anybody's opinions on it, but from what I saw, it looks exciting. And then we also got some more gameplay footage of Silent Hill 2, which, in all honesty, kind of looks like Resident Evil, the remakes. So I don't have much of an opinion on that. I've only played Silent Hill 1 on the PS1, and that was literally a few months ago because I was just curious. And based off of those two, the trailer and my experience with Silent Hill 1 on the PS1, they look drastically different. I love the Resident Evil remakes. Those are probably some of my favorite games, especially the Resident Evil 2 remake. But I don't know if Silent Hill fans are going to be too happy about how Resident Evil-y this one looks. But who knows? A good game is a good game, even if it isn't exactly what we were asking for, Maybe that's not a great mindset, but I'm trying to be positive. There was another game a lot of people seem to be really hyping up called Rise of the Ronin. Legit, when I first heard about it, I thought they were talking about the TMNT Lost Ronin game. I was like, oh, frick yeah, we finally get some gameplay. I was super excited for that. But then when I found out it was this Koei Tecmo game, yeah, they make great games, don't get me wrong. But I was looking for Ninja Turtles, so I got a little disappointed by that. People seem excited for it. I don't really, I'm sure it'll be good. But other than that, we got a few other things. Death Stranding 2. Haven't played the first one. Maybe one day. From what I've heard, I don't think the gameplay is for me. But for the people who do like that kind of game, I'm sure they'll eat up too. Because I've heard praise from other people saying that it's basically what they were hoping one would be, just with basically better gameplay. Overall, I feel like the Sony State of Play, it was fine. It had some hitters like Stellar Blade, Sonic X Shadow Generations, Foam Stars. I mean, it's Splatoon ripoff, let's be real here. But I'm kind of interested in it. I don't think I'll buy it. First off, I don't have a PS5, so that won't happen. I don't know if it's on PS4, but I probably won't buy it either way. If it was a free-to-play game, I'd check it out, absolutely. I don't think it's worth a price tag, though. That may just be super negative, honestly, but I have Splatoon. I'm satisfied with Splatoon. They do have their pretty stark differences when you really look at them, but I like the aesthetic of Splatoon more. Now, off of the direct news, we actually do have some other things that I want to... This isn't exactly video game news, but I got to talk about this. Scott Pilgrim just reached his 20th anniversary this year, and I'm super excited for that. And as a celebration, Brian Lee O'Malley is actually re-releasing the original series, a black and white version and a colored version of the comics in a hardcover box set. So it's not directly video game related, but if you know anything about Scott Pilgrim, it's completely video game related. Nonetheless, if you're a reader or if you're just a collector, I'd keep an eye out on this. I'm excited for this. Now, I did hear that these are remastered. That kind of makes me wary. Don't know what that means exactly. Hopefully it just means enhanced images and all. That's all, hopefully that's all it is. Who knows though? Anyways, keep an eye out on that. I'm sure it'll be worth it. It looks sick just based off of what been posted online already. And now this is where we kind of lean away from the news, but still significant. I want to tell you guys. So the 3DS and the Wii U online services are actually shutting down soon. I don't know if you guys know about this, but they are nearing their deadlines very soon. Yeah, the eShop shut down last year, but now we're losing access to the online multiplayer. So if you like playing Smash Bros. 3DS or Wii U or Kid Icarus Uprising or Mario Kart 7, or for some weird reason you like playing Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U still, you will not have access to these after this due date passes. That due date being April 8th of this year. So you better keep an eye out on that and play as many online games as you possibly can before that deadline, or you will never be able to experience those games in official means ever again. Yeah, fans are already planning to hold up servers for these games, so not all is lost. But, there's a difference between fan games and or fan servers and official servers. There's a bit more, not validity per se, but for sure that more people are comfortable and less people are willing to mod systems to get onto these servers. So make sure you take advantage of the time you have left. That's 66 days, counting February 2nd. You got 66 days until those servers shut down. You got 2 months. Get to playing or you're going to miss out. On a less sad note, how about we cover some games that are coming out this week that I think are significant to some extent? These are games that have either come out this week or at least coming out very soon. So keep an eye out on these. Maybe something will pique your interest. We got stuff along the lines of Death Stranding 2 Director's Cut on iOS and Mac. I know that's a specific group of people, but if you are one of those people that wants to play Death Stranding on your phone or your Mac, that is an option you have now. Silent Hill: A Short Message, like I said, that came out on PS5, and it looks cool to me at least. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink seems to be an action RPG that a lot of people are excited for. I don't know too much about it, but just keep an eye out on this. It came out, or it's coming out very soon, for the PlayStation 4, PS5, and PC. Persona 3 Reload comes out on the Xbox Series X, S, One, PS4, PS5, and PC. So if you're a JRPG fan, you need to check this one out. I've heard nothing but positive things. I've only played Persona 4 Golden, but just from my experience of Persona 4, I'm sure 3 is just as amazing. So we've already talked about Justice League Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. I don't have much else to say about it other than it comes out on all the modern consoles, PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. So check that out if that's something you're interested in, do as each their own, Now, out of the ones here, I feel like this is the one that interests me the most. I'm not a League of Legends player at all, but this new game, Song of Numu, League of Legends Adventure, it seems pretty cool. I don't know too much about it, but just from clips I've seen online, this looks like it's worth checking out if you're into this style of game at all. Not League of Legends, but more of this 3D platformer mascot character vibe, If Nintendo fans will probably be interested in it. The thing is, it's coming out for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X and S. So, no Nintendo fans, sorry. Also PC. But, this is a game to keep an eye out for. So those were some notable games that came out this week. Any of them pique your interest? Besides Song of Numu, I think I'll hold off on most of these for now. But that one does look pretty cool. This week seems to have a lot of variety for everybody who has some kind of interest in gaming, especially JRPG fans. So if none of the games that came out this week interest you, I have a game recommendation that maybe this will interest you. It's a fan game called Super Smash Flash 2. It came out around 2017, and you think, oh, Nintendo, they demolish any fan game that comes out. They chuck it into the fire and let it burn. This game's been going on for quite some time, and it's still getting updated to this day with new characters and content all the time. It's Super Smash Bros. On the PC, pixel art style. It looks great. If you haven't heard of this, it's such a small download. It's a very active community, a very competitive community at that. Don't worry, it's not strictly competitive. It's just a generally fun game with lots of characters. Like I'm talking, you can play as Goku and Luffy and Sonic and Tails. Well, Sonic's already in Smash Bros, but it used to be a big deal. But you could play as Sora before Sora was actually in Ultimate. Waluigi, that one's sick. There's a lot of character variety in there. It's a game worth checking out, just made by fans who clearly love the Smash Bros. Series. And the best part is, because it's a fan game, it's free to download, and it's super accessible. Like your mom's potato computer from 2009 can run it, no issue. So I recommend checking that game out this week. Who knows, maybe you'll love it. And just as a little shout out, to end things off, I just want to share some people's creativity that I've come across this week. Specifically, these artists right here. I found their art scrolling through X/Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And I was just like, oh man, I eat this up. So you guys, go give them a follow if you like their art. See what they have to offer. Maybe you'll find a new artist you just adore. Well, that summarized this week in gaming. It was surprisingly eventful, I won't lie. Quite a lot of good stuff was announced. We got some new games this week that were pretty exciting. I'm sad to see the 3DS and Wii U shutting down so soon, but it was we had some good years with it. I'm hoping to get as much as I can out of it before it's fully gone. Make sure you do too. You don't want to miss out. If you were a Nintendo fan or you grew up with it, just whatever, don't miss out on this time to enjoy your 3DS online and your Wii U. All 7 of you who owned one. I know I'm going to be playing online. I'm going to be hopping on some Smash Bros. Wii U. So if you hop on, you'll probably get wrecked by me. Anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you're playing this week. Tell me, it helps me out kind of figure out what's going on, what you guys are interested in, and what I know what to talk about. I'm gonna be mainly talking about what interests me, but hopefully that interests you as well, because you'll be interested in the same things I am, because the world revolves around me, of course. No, anyways, for real, if there is a game that interests you, or you want to see me talk about something in the next week's news, leave it in the comments. Give me some ideas. Or, just in general, talk to me down below. If you want to talk to me outside of the comments, you can @ me at _blindnostalgia on Twitter/X. And basically just links down below if you want to find me on any social platform. I'm on all the major ones. You know what to do. You have a good one. Remember, eat your vegetables, but not me.